Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Super Plays. Welcome back to another Super Plays update video, or Super Talks. I guess that this is what this would be considered. And I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been very busy with my graduate studies. As you can see, I've got a stack of books right next to me. I am busy writing, and I just wanted to talk about for a few minutes, nothing crazy, my thoughts on Battlefield 6. And of the open beta and the things that I like, and in particular the few things that I just really hope that DICE is able to incorporate eventually. I think they're pretty big. I'm not really sure that DICE will be able to do something like this, in the 2 months that they have until release, but we'll see. And so the first thing I want to say, just kind of the praise I want to give this open beta, is that I had a lot of fun with it. I think most people did, right? If they were new fans or Battlefield fans, they see DICE is making the right calls. They're on the right path to make this a really great successor, spiritual successor to Battlefield 3 and 4, right? Kind of fixing the errors that they made in 2042. I had a lot of fun with Battlefield 1. As you know, I've played it quite a bit on this channel. I think Battlefield 5 is okay, it's cool. I didn't find it as enjoyable as Battlefield 1, and I don't need to talk about 2042. We all know how everyone feels about that. But I think that the destruction for Battlefield 6, the atmosphere of the engagements, the destruction, all of that is very, very good. I even liked the maps. Okay, Liberation Peak was my favorite. I did feel that that of course all the maps were obviously pretty small. I see what people mean. I do think that they will release the much bigger maps upon the game's actual full release. We all know Operation Firestorm is going to be there, which is a humongous map. And Liberation Peak, yes, still a little small, but it had that kind of air. You could have this combined arms combat, right? Siege of Cairo was definitely my second favorite with that urban combat feel. I would say Iberian Peninsula was my least favorite, and then Columbia Heights kind of was third favorite out of them. I just like kind of, again, being in the city, that urban area. Being in New York City, no less, was really, really awesome. So let me quickly just gonna go over again. I won't keep this video too long. I'm gonna try not to ramble, as will happen. I don't have anything. I just talk for these Super Talk. Give you my thoughts as they are up here. So one thing probably the biggest thing that I want to see in Battlefield 6 eventually, don't know if they'll be able to incorporate this, is a much more in-depth squad system, including voice communication, kind of just leadership roles and whatnot. I feel like in the day and age of Hell Let Loose, where there's just such a detailed commander, there's a hierarchy, there's really not a reason why games like Battlefield, which advertise themselves, and they are squad-based shooters, that there shouldn't be this very clear hierarchy for teams. I do feel like teams should have a commander role in Battlefield. Now, I think for all this, you could say, well, Zach, they're pretty short matches. I mean, they are compared to Hell Let Loose, which has hour-long matches. Conquest will last 20 minutes, maybe a little more. All Out Warfare, Breakthrough will last, around that too, maybe a little more. So that's a fair point. But what I do think needs to happen, certainly, is that there needs to be a much clearer understanding for the players on who the squad leader is, how does someone become a squad leader, providing orders, and if someone isn't providing orders, then they get switched out. Okay, I think I'm remembering correctly. I haven't played Battlefield 1 in 2 years or longer, and there was you had 5-person squads. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly. And I really enjoyed that aspect of Battlefield 1, how you had 5-person squads, because I do feel like the squad leader, going back from 5 to 4, it just seems like a little small, right? I don't know, it just didn't, it seemed like you were just put with players. I mean, obviously I was playing with friends for the beta, so it wasn't like random. I mean, sometimes play with friends, other times it was random. But I'm just like, who's the squad leader here? And where are we going? I'm a really huge proponent of the squad system because, I feel like you should play the objective. I'm a big proponent of that, and I do feel like if you have a squad that is working together cooperatively, communicating, then you can pretty much win. I mean, you can't do it alone. You can't be the only squad on your team, especially if the other team has multiple squads doing that. But you can, pretty much command the game, the match, and in many cases, at least not the whole match, many instances throughout the match, if you are a squad that is cooperating together. And I just feel like it lacks that system right now. So, expand the squad system and the VoIP, widen the accessibility for voice chat, right? I think that you should be able to talk to blueberries, right? People not in your squad, around you, at least have an area chat. Again, Hell Let Loose has it. I think that Battlefield should have it as well. The other thing, and this kind of ties into those that are saying that the game does feel faster or quicker pace, which it does. I don't think it's necessarily to its detriment, but this is one very good tidbit here. I do not like how fast you throw the grenade, okay? I just feel like it doesn't need to be as slow as in Hell Let Loose, but it needs to be a little, I think that should be quicker in Hell Let Loose, but it does need to be a little slower as well in Battlefield 6. Kind of just takes me out, and the grenade itself just looks like a little red dot. I don't like it. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. I think it needs to kind of just, look like a grenade, I guess. I mean, I don't know how many people throw grenades and watch where they go. Maybe you do. I mean, I don't typically. I kind of just chuck the grenade and assume it's going where I'm telling it to go. And if you do damage or get a kill, then great. Anyway, I'm talking about this way too long. I'd like that. I think that would be great, and I think that's something that could be tweaked as well. Other things, I watch all the big YouTubers, Jack Frags, Level Cap Gaming, Wessie, I think his name is, who've talked about it. So I don't want to rehash everything they've said. I know about the sniper glare. They're probably going to fix that. The recoil, they'll make it less lasery, all that sort of stuff. The marking system, right? I was, again, just really, this kind of ties into the squad system of it all and giving commands. I just was kind of confused about, I don't know, I just remember it being a lot easier, maybe less easy in past Battlefields, but kind of more straightforward to target someone, right? I know that the big complaint is if you're a sniper, you're playing as a marksman, then you just are observing people, then the whole map, your whole team will see them. I don't know. That's difficult to kind of to square, right? So, to square that circle. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to think what else was on my. I had this kind of small list, and I know I talked about the big ones. That's why you should come prepared. But yeah, those are kind of the big ones, guys. I think that that stood out to me. I just was kind of put off a little bit by the lack of a squad system, as well as kind of the grenade, the speed of the grenades. I didn't mind the map's size. I know they're going to be releasing bigger maps for the main game. That's just what I really want to see, is a much more ingrained kind of encouragement for squads to work together, for the team to work together. I can see they're trying to and I've heard, I forget, was it Jack Frags or one other YouTuber kind of mentioned, DICE is walking a fine line between the non-Battlefield atmosphere and the Battlefield atmosphere. So which side will they lean on? I hope they do lean into the Battlefield, kind of what Battlefield veterans would like to see from their games. It's the same thing with the closed weapons class system. Quite frankly, and this video might get hated for this, I don't care about that as much. I don't really care if every class can use every weapon. I do feel like every class should have specific unique accoutrements, right? So every single class should be able to be absolutely necessary and a necessity for their squad, right? It shouldn't be like, I know they've said this, the assault class and the snipe or the marksman class are kind of pointless right now. So I hope that they fix that, and I'm sure that they will. But yeah, those are my big thoughts on that, guys. I have about 10 more episodes, I think, left of the Days Gone survival Let's Play. So hope you're enjoying that. And I'll get back to doing Total War videos soon. As I mentioned, it's just kind of nice to go over on the couch after I've been on the computer for all day to kind of relax there and do some gaming. So let me know your thoughts on the Battlefield 6 open beta. I am very excited for this game overall. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.